Okay. So we got this video converting, and then I'm going to upload it, and I'm going to upload this one. I'm going to keep making these until I just wither away and die, as these people plan their next plot. I'm starting to think that this elderly woman that has my grandson lives with her, one of her, like her daughter, or lives with her her son. I think it's a family. I think it's a family that took on Andre. I don't think it's just like a husband and wife with 2 kids. I think it's like the husband and wife with their kids, with the grandma in the house, right? And the teenagers and all that. And Andre's just there to supplement their household income. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the people that came on this last Wednesday, this mother, and the Wednesday before that, this father, with their kidnapped boy, right? Because like I said, the little girl doesn't look like she's suffering. To her, it's just another play day, right? It's routine. For that little boy, he was fussy. He was hurt. Okay? But I'm starting to think that, there's more than meets the eye, which we know that there is. Right? But I'm not the one that's causing the confusion here. They are. It wasn't my mistake that when this woman showed up with the grandson and I said, well, what am I supposed to call myself? You call yourself Nana. What am I? And what am I supposed to call myself? Caught me off guard. I've changed my name. So I settled for Grandma. But I think that's what they wanted. I think that was the plan. Because then they can isolate me down to something that they can, train my grandson to not like me just because they can talk without saying anything. Because they're sure in the hell not supportive of me. I can tell you that right now. No. Because if they were, I'd tell you. And they're not. And I think it's a form of gang stalking and psychological warfare. I think this visiting my grandson is doing more harm than good. Because technically, I should just be able to go get my grandson and bring him home where he belongs. Instead of being set up to fail. As I have hyenas running in a pack, ready to go in for the kill. That's basically how I feel. And this free man that's sitting there watching my videos, if you're not bored with them by now, you want to call me a crybaby? You go ahead and you call me a crybaby. Because these social workers, they knew I had a large plate full with my yard that nobody seems to care about except for me, right? Because that's the responsible thing to do, unless you want algae all over the place when it's not sand and other weeds, right? They knew I had a non-profit. They know I don't get a lot of help with that, right? Because I live in a poor, depressed community where either the people are too poor and just don't have the resources, the education, or the skills, and just don't care. Or the people with the money just don't care because they're too busy filling their own coffers, right? Last thing they want is more competition, so why should they care about what I do, right? Social workers knew that. They also knew I had an old lady in the house that couldn't do anything, wouldn't do anything, and I had to do everything. They also knew I had my daughter in the house with her baby, right? So, of course, I had to take up the slack on that one. Right? I was doing double shifts there at some point. I'd get up at 9 in the morning, work all day, and my daughter would come to me with Andre at 10, 11 o'clock at night and say, well, I'm going out for an hour. It'd be 5 o'clock in the morning and she's still not home. So I was doing double shifts. Can't just rely on the kids. I have to be around for that. Right? They made sure that they forced an abusive man into my house. Because the couple wanted to be together and they were in love. So, it just kept waiting and watching, and now they're using it against me. Right? Because they know I have to do my yard. They know I have to work on the nonprofit or forfeit on it. One or the other is either forfeit on the nonprofit, take the fucking books and everything, take it to the curbside and throw it into the recycle and just kiss it goodbye. That's pretty hard to do when you do something for 13 years and you actually get acknowledged by the federal government, but you get shit on by your provincial government and your local governments and your local social workers and court systems, houses, and that kind of thing. Because none of those people support what I do in terms of a nonprofit. I don't see one that acknowledges what I do to be good. And if they want to use these videos as an excuse to sit up there and say that I'm a whiner and a crier and a complainer and I'm the one that's causing all this trouble, well, first of all, I'm not the one that changed my name. They did. When they introduced another family and then tried to convince Andre that he was all white. And anybody that's dark, he can't see. He can't see his aunties because they're dark. He can't see his uncle because he's dark. You know? They knew the mother would go off the wall. That's the game. That's the script. That part is already written into the plan. So, you know, she's gone, pretty much. Right? She hasn't been able to stay focused on doing what I'm doing because it's hard. That these people play games with you. They don't want you to connect with your loved one. Right? And because he's so little, he doesn't know right from wrong. So if they're using him to manipulate the situation through different controls and triggers, you know, children sitting next at the table there, you know, oh, to make sure you take him to the bathroom, and, oh, you know, just now we're teaching him lip reading, right? What does he know? He's just a little boy trying to fit in because he's already been robbed of his initial family, and he doesn't want to lose out again, right? So, it's not my fault that I had to be called Nana. Sorry. Grandma. What do I call myself? I don't want to confuse my grandson. Well, I don't know. That's not my problem. That's your problem because it's being a Nana suits fine for me in my house. That's what this caregiver said to me on that day when I first seen my grandson before he went in for my 1-hour visit. I don't care what you call yourself. I just know that I'm a Nana in my house. Works best for me. That's what she told me. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm Grandma. But not anymore. Not anymore. I'm going on Wednesday and I'm telling them, you start calling me Nana. That's it. Oh, well, you're going to confuse him. We wouldn't want to do that. You know what? You people have already confused him. You've confused my whole family. You've got me to the point where I just want to wither up and die. And how are you going to explain that one to my kids when it happens? And how are you going to explain that one to my grandson when he finds out the truth about what you people have been doing to him? Unless, of course, you've got other plans for him that are just going to mysteriously happen. Nobody will be held accountable for anything. Because they're not being held accountable for nothing right now. This little gang-stalking family with their little gang-stalking union workers, a.k.a. social worker. With their little gang-stalking group of corrupt judges and lawyers. Basically. Right? They don't care. I don't see any of them that side caring too much about anything. Right? So I gotta go Wednesday and put myself on a cross and be prepared to be crucified. That's pretty much about it. But I'm still Nana. That part there is no more confusion about. And that woman, what's she going to say? And I'm going to ask my lawyer sometime this week to make arrangements to transfer me out of that facility. I don't care what they say about themselves. They say they got 70 programs going through that place. I just happen to be at the bottom of the pile, right? I'm the one that's treated like a criminal, right? So they can fuck themselves. Like, honest to fucking God. I am so sick and tired of this shit. Like, you don't understand. I have done absolutely nothing to deserve this crap. Not a fucking thing. But I'm expected to work on a fucking non-profit so that people like this can take advantage of that after I'm dead. And they destroy my grandson and the rest of my kids. I don't want to go back to that place. My daughter says I have to. Because I have to do it for Andre's sake. I can't bail ship now. So that's fine. I won't bail ship. And I'll put on the best poker face I've got, okay? But I am asking my lawyer if I still even have one. You get it? If I still even have one. To find me a different location where the people are sincere about wanting to have families bond with their visiting time versus coming in and acting like snakes and fucking vipers with their necks script in line so that they can torment the ones that are trying to jump through these impractical hoops without even knowing what the hell you did wrong. Okay? I'm asking my lawyer to get me a new place to go. And I'm going to go find the judge that started this shit too. There's two of them. I'm going to get their name. I know one. I'm going to get the other name. And I might even start a lawsuit against them as individuals. Because this needs to go on an individual fucking basis. Forget the Ministry of Children Development. What the hell is the Ministry of Children Development but nothing but a word? It's just something for some human being can hide behind. No. This is it's a social workers. No, there's two in mind. Just like there's two judges in mind. Just like there's the minister herself for the Ministry of Children and Family Development. You know? They want to make everything so personal. Well, maybe I got to find a way to make things personal. But the way things are going, I won't be around much longer anyway, because that's how they deal with their problems, right? That's how they build their lives. Right? They take little children and destroy families while they do it. They cut off the head of the mother. That's what they do. They cut off the head of the mother. That's what they do.